So, hello everybody. This is World Doula Week 2020. So I thought it would be nice to share with people virtually since we're dealing with the coronavirus and people can't come out to an event. I thought it would be nice to do a virtual type of event to where people can learn about what doulas are, because that's a question that I hear a lot. When I mention that I'm a doula in training, most people go, "What's a doula anyway?" And the more people know about it, the more they're likely to seek a doula. So that's why we're here today. So what is a doula? What they are, what they do, how they are beneficial. Miss Amber and Miss Regina are more experienced right now than I am. I'm still in training, so that's why I asked them to please join this panel to give more insight to everyone. Let's see. Did the PowerPoint change?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. Hi, Mr. Phillip. Could you mute yourself as you come in? Okay. So, we're going to introduce ourselves. Like I said, it's World Doula Week. Each day there's a new prompt for a doula around the world to share with other people. Is today through March 28th, and we're celebrating doulas everywhere.
Y'all know we at home, so my child is trying to get in the room where I am. So
okay.
That's all right.
My baby's in the other room. I'm hoping she don't try to bust down the door.
Okay. She is literally talking about open the door, but okay.
So
I got a little bitty one.
Willowing Aya Doula Services. My name is Kwaisi Galladay. Like I said, I'm a doula in training. I'm under the guidance of Nicole Fletcher, who is the owner of Nurturing Arrows Doula Support Services. And I am the owner of Willowing Aya Doula Services. I'm here because I want to support and educate, elevate, advocate, all those 8 words for moms, especially Black and brown moms, throughout pregnancy, before, during, and after pregnancy in Jefferson County, which is southeastern Arkansas. My goal is to extend any of the voices of my clients because in labor and delivery it gets really difficult with all the information thrown at you, and sometimes they're not able to convey what they might tell their family at home to their doctor. So kind of being able to be that middle person and provide support is one of my goals, and to give them research-based information to help them make informed decisions on their own. So yeah, I'm just here to doula the dang thing. I really like saying that. And be a tiny piece of a puzzle that we have working together, so people know about doulas and supporting women. And Miss Amber White can introduce herself to you all.
Hey guys, I'm Amber White. I am the owner of the Doula for the Culture, and it's just an independent doula business. I don't know why I even put that on there, but anywho, I'm a certified birth and postpartum doula, and I have been since last year. I have 2 children, and through my experiences with my birth, which were so totally different from each other, is where my passion kind of was born. I had a cesarean the first time, and then I had a vaginal birth the second time. And so the experiences were so different. I had a doula with my second birth, and I didn't have one with my first. And so from there, I just kind of learned, and I actually experienced a lot of the different disparities that we as Black women experience in the healthcare field. So for me, I just really wanted to be that voice, be that advocate, and kind of educate our community on what we're facing and just kind of like help us navigate through that. Yeah, that's pretty much me. That's pretty much what I do. I'm really passionate about it. I really care about just letting women know, like, for one, that there are some issues, and for 2, let's figure out how we can make this work for us. So yeah, that's me.
Thank you.
I lost my screen.
And Our other panelist is Regina. Did it change? No. 1 second. Technology. There we go. Miss Regina, can you please introduce
Here
yourself?
I am. Yes, so I'm Regina Chaten, the owner of Regina Chaten Doula Services. I've always, I say always because I'm older, I've always known about doulas. I knew what they were, knew what their passion was. When I had children, I didn't, there was not doulas in my area. It was just hard to find them. And so I want to be able to, be the forefront and let women know about doulas, let them know that they're here, they're available. We educate. I just want to, just let them know what we do and what we're here for. That's it.
I keep talking while I'm muted.
Did y'all see me?
That's awesome. And I
Okay.
see that everyone has similar reasons as to why, we even started on this journey. I think that's typical for what I've learned so far for doulas. It's kind of like been seen as a calling, like something has led you here. Me personally, when I went through my last pregnancy, I wanted a doula, and I sought out and I found Nicole Fletcher. She was my doula for a period of time during my pregnancy. But afterwards, other women came to me and said, I want you to be my doula. And I was like, hold on, who said that I was even a doula? And then that led me to like, okay, let me go ahead and figure out how to put this hat on. So now I'm in school to train to become a doula. So what is a doula, everyone? According to Donna International, a doula is a trained professional who provides continuous physical, emotional, and informational support to a mom before, during, and after her childbirth to help her achieve the healthiest, most satisfying experience possible. My question kind of to the panelists, I know right now I've only been assisted in one birth. That's how far I am on my journey as a doula. But for you all, with your clients, is this true? Like, do you only help for a short period of time afterwards, or do you extend that time? Because I know in other places and other cultures, and even in our own culture that I'm learning about, some people actually extend help for another 40 days after the child has already been born. So, like, how do you all support your clients? What are you? What do you do?
So for me, there is a birth doula and there's a postpartum doula, and those are two totally different things. As far as the birth doula hat, I support my clients during their pregnancy, during their labor and delivery, and then I always go out and check on them up to 2 to 3 days after they've had the baby. So that is really pretty much the end of the birth doula support. But then there comes the postpartum support. And postpartum is pretty much a period after you have a baby up to 1 year afterwards. So if you're a birth and postpartum doula, then you do support the mom throughout both of those if that's what the mom or the family chooses to do. So it really just depends on what the family chooses to do. But for me as a doula, I definitely am open and have the option for supporting mom longer after she has the baby.
So, right, I support moms kind of in the same way. I go a little bit longer. So I go all the way up to 4 to 5 weeks, right before mom sees her doctor for her 6 months. No, that's wrong. 6-week checkup. I see, and so we're still in contact via phone. If she needs me to see face to face, then I will go. If she needs that. But yeah, I go just a little bit longer, and I also do postpartum too, so they can schedule those days and those times after the 4 to 5 weeks that we're done. Then I can do postpartum with her then too.
That's amazing.
And one thing that I always tell my clients is the goal is to establish that relationship, because
Right.
birth is such an intimate process. So we are supposed to become friends. We are supposed to have that relationship, because I'm gonna be all up in your business.
Right.
So when that actually happens, the support definitely lasts longer, but I like it to be more of an organic thing than a forced thing, if that makes sense.
Right.
Yes, it does make sense. And I like that you all both mentioned, family, because it's the mother, the birthing person, however you choose to, designate that human being we're talking about. They made the child with someone else, so they're carrying that child along with somebody else that's an extension, of them and their relationship. And a lot of some things that doesn't go shown is that doula work involves working with a family. They might already have children.
Right.
Their partner may or may not be able to support them in certain ways, and that's where doulas kind of come in, and I think that's very important. So again, what do they do? What do doulas do? Like you said, it's emotional, it's physical, it's educational support. It's basically everything they need throughout this time in their life where they're very vulnerable. We're supposed to do our best in making sure the women feel safe, that their experience is not traumatic, and that they feel empowered throughout the whole process. And here's a little infogram on how doulas are even beneficial. Because, people can say things like, oh, well, my grandma does that, or my sister can support me. But, which is true, extended family can help
Right.
and provide that support through the process. But when you're really down in there and with those doctors and you're in the back about to have this baby, grandma might say, oh, you'll be all right. And you looking like, grandma, like, come on, I need somebody to tell me what to do right now. And that's kind of where doulas can come in and help. So studies have shown that doulas can help cut back on time spent in labor. We can help reduce some anxiety. We can lower the rate of medical interventions such as C-sections, improve mother-baby bonding. It just helps with breastfeeding success as well. Having someone on your side as your, advocate, basically, in those situations where the mother is giving birth, a whole lot of things can happen. And we're kind of like there to go, no, she's gonna be okay. So how else do you all think that we are beneficial to the community? Because I know, like I said, a lot of my friends from my generation, I'm a millennial, they don't really know about doulas. And, when I say that, they're like, well, what's a doula? So they don't really know how we are beneficial.
So for me, oh, Regina, are you going?
No, go ahead.
So for me, I think that education is a really big, important factor in what doulas do. We are there to educate the mom on her rights, on the type of birth that she wants to have, on what she wants to happen to her body, to her baby. I really focus on that part a lot because I want moms to understand that this is a beautiful experience, but this is your experience. So I think that where you mentioned like grandma will say this and say that, having that support is great. I encourage people to have support outside of a doula. But the biggest part is having support that is going to make sure that your wishes are carried out as much as possible. So I think that the education factor is really an important aspect. And that's something that we do. We help inform moms on, upcoming appointments, what to expect at your 32-week checkup, what to expect when you do your glucose test and things like that. So that's just kind of something I wanted to like really highlight. Doulas are great. I think everybody should have a doula, but it's not for us to spoon feed you and for us to make decisions for you. It's to educate you so you can make the decisions you want and have the birth that you desire.
I'm so glad.
Right. And we also
go ahead.
Right. So we also give you kind of paint a picture for you, you know, because some women are pregnant and they think, oh, I have to do it the way the doctor tells me. No, you have options. You have choices. And so we kind of educate, as Amber was saying, we educate and let them know, hey, you don't have to do it the way the doctor says. I mean, those are only suggestions, but how about let's research our options and see what it is that you want instead of doing exactly what the doctor tells you that he wants you to do or she wants you to do. Do it the way you want to.
And that's not to say to like be a rebel and go against everything that your doctor says, but it's to say that you have options like Regina said, whatever a doctor is suggesting is just a suggestion. But the way that it's presented, sometimes you may not realize that it's a suggestion and you may think that you have to do it. So the education part is important so you can know your rights, so you can know what the process can look like. Because every process looks different. So you can know, even though my doctor is suggesting this, that may not necessarily be for me. I'll give you an example really quickly. I had a cesarean my first birth, and my second birth, my doctor pretty much made it seem like I had to have another cesarean because I had one the first time. Right. Well, had I not had the information and had I not had a wonderful doula myself, I would have had another C-section when that wasn't the case. Like, I had a perfectly fine vaginal birth, but that wasn't presented to me. I had to know for myself and say, hey, I can have a vaginal birth. I can have the cesarean just because I had one the first time. So that's just an example of all of your options are not presented to you. And when you know your options and you know your rights, you can make a better decision for you and your family.
Right. Correct. And I just want to say one more thing. It's also avocation. And so we built that bond, that relationship with our clients. We know who they are. We know who they are in the presence when they're feeling good. That way, when something goes wrong in the hospital, or if something goes wrong in the hospital or a home birth, we can see it, you know, before anybody else see it, before anyone else see it, you know. So I can look at my client and say, something's not right. She's not herself. Right. And I can speak up before anyone else sees it, and I can hopefully save her life at that point, you know, if it gets that bad.
Thank you. So those are just the main questions of, you know, that I hear often. What's a doula? What do doulas do? How do they help? How are they beneficial? Why should I even think about getting a doula? Some other questions that I have and that I've seen while, you know, reading online and things of that sort, and I want to hear you all, and I might add in there, but again, I mostly want to hear what you all think about some of these things. So, I mean, you both told me already, like, why you became a doula and how it's basically been a calling, and I see that pretty often in this field of work. But there are stereotypes that come with being a doula. If I'm wrong, let me know. But I've heard things of, like, you know, doulas don't really know what they're doing, or you don't really need a doula. And I think that information can be detrimental to us reaching those clients who could possibly really use and need us. So how could we combat negative information surrounding the concept of doulas?
You always, well, for me, you just use your social media platform. Put that information out there. Educate the public what a doula does, what they don't do. Put the myths out there and say, one myth I can say is that we deliver babies. Of course we don't, because we don't do anything medical. We're non-medical professionals. And so, but yeah, just use your social media platform. My family and my friends know what I do. They always come to me with questions, and I happily answer. Like, we can sit there all day and talk about what I do, what I don't do, and, you know, the families that I help. You know, I just think we just keep putting it out there, what we do and who we are, and those myths will just go away.
Agreed. Another thing, I think in 2020 that it's changing a little bit, but I know that a lot of people associate doulas with you having to have a home birth.
Mhm.
Right.
And I think that home births are great. They are really magical. If anybody who's going to listen has the experience to have one, they really are great.
Oh yeah.
In my opinion, I feel like you need a doula more in the hospital than you do in a home birth. I think you need a doula anyway, but I feel like you definitely need more of that support in the hospital because of things that we've talked about, because like all of your rights and all of your, options are not presented to you. And there are so many people coming in and out of the room. There are so many people, they are able to make decisions when they really aren't. So that's a really big myth that people think that you have to have, that you can only have doula support if you have a home birth, which is not true at all. I encourage all moms, regardless of where they are birthing, to have a doula, because it's literally support, and that's what it boils down to.
Right.
And it's not support from a partner, support from a family member. It's somebody who's coming in fresh to the situation, who's getting to know you, who's getting to know what you want, so they don't know other information about you. They learn what you want them to learn, and they help you and educate you on your journey. And I feel like whether you are having a home birth or a hospital birth, that type of support is so important.
Yes, thank you.
And another myth, I think that doulas are really good for partners as well.
Oh yeah.
My husband benefited from us having a doula.
Yes.
And for him, he wanted to support me, but sometimes partners, dads, husbands don't know how to support you outside of rubbing your hand and saying it's okay. Have that doula support, they can kind of say, all right, I want you to be right here, or you sift the belly, or you do this. One thing I do with my clients, I always try to have at least one meeting with the partner as well. But before that, I always ask the mom, tell me about your partner. Does he want to be involved? Do you want him to be involved? So I can kind of fill out the dynamics that they have going on. And sometimes they'll be like, oh, he's just going to be there for support. It's no biggie. That's why we got you. Or other times they'll say, I want him to be involved, but he gets so nervous, he don't know what to do.
Right.
And that's when I can say, okay, so I need to kind of coach him and help him, know what to do. Because truthfully, the bond is between them two.
Yeah.
And so doulas are not beneficial for the mom, they're for the partner, the family, whomever. And that's something I think a lot of people don't know as well.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true.
I think we're as much there for the mom as much there for the mom as for the dad too.
Right.
I've had a client or two where dad couldn't see the blood, so I make sure that you sit right there at this point. Don't look right now. Let's cover this up before you move this way. So we were there for him. I was there for him too. Make sure that he was taken care of too.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
My daughter's trying to get in the room too.
Another question, well, kind of on the stats is, and I'm gonna post it in here so everyone can see. In Arkansas, it's actually the fourth highest place in the United States for the highest maternal mortality rate. And of those that pass away, 71% of those women are African American, compared to only 27.8 being of Caucasian descent, which basically means that for every 13 white women that may die during childbirth, 44 Black women do. And you know how people say numbers don't lie. It's kind of blatant right here that there's a disproportionate rate in which, for one, women are dying way too much in Arkansas when they're giving birth, and then especially Black women. So with that, how do you think that doulas help change that, help kind of bring those numbers down?
Well, the moms are aware now. Can y'all see me?
Yes.
Okay, never mind. Well, the moms are aware. At least the moms that contact me, they are aware of the statistics, and they're contacting me so that they're not a statistic. So just them knowing already, and me putting out information out there, that's already helping it a little bit, because they're aware and they know somewhat of what to look for. What do you think, Amber?
I would say this. There are some moms that are aware, but what really hurts my heart is that there are so many who aren't aware that there's even an issue.
Right.
I tell this story all the time, but I'm going to tell it again because this is what really brought light to me that, hey, there's an issue and us Black women are dying from it. Serena Williams was pregnant around the same time I was. And there was an article published, I don't know what magazine it was, but talking about like how she almost died during birth and how they weren't listening to her. So for me, being pregnant, I'm like, wait a minute, you telling me this world-known woman, superstar, almost died during birth as well, and not because there were just so many complications, but because people didn't take her serious as well, simply because of the color of her skin. So for me, I think that we just need to educate so much more so women can understand that this is not just, it's not fake news. It's not something that happened a long time ago. Like right now, our women, our community is being affected so much by these healthcare disparities. And once you get past the education aspect, I think it's just advocacy. When you can teach a mom like how to speak up for herself, give a mom her options so she can know what to say yes and no for. When you're in labor, those contractions are coming and they hurt. Coming fast and hard. You don't have time to think about whether you want this to happen or not. I know for me, I'm a very vocal person. I speak my mind. I will tell you, no, I do not want this, or yes, I do in a minute. But when I was in labor, I didn't have time to say, you know, all I had to focus on was these contractions. Anything else, talk to my husband. You need to talk to my doula about it. And I think that educating women on that part of it, because a lot of times people don't think about that as well. Like, you can't focus on everything when you're in labor. So to me, I think that just educating like the masses that, hey, we have a problem. Like, I think that a lot of women are, you know, realizing that, but even outside of educating, because to me, sometimes they can put unnecessary fear in a woman. And the last thing we want is a pregnant woman being stressed, thinking she's about to die. So outside of the education, we also need to like teach them like what we can look for, the things that we can do, how we can advocate for you. So to me, I think the education and the advocacy go hand in hand with one another on how we can just do our small little part in combating that, especially in Arkansas where the rates are so high.
Thank you for that, y'all. I think that, you know, like I said, it's a big conversation to have. And just to start off World Doula Week with just saying, hey, here we are introducing ourselves. That's the prompt for day one, like saying, hey, I'm a doula, this is what I do. And just sharing information. I think that's already doing our part in helping change some of the things that we see, especially in the beautiful natural state of Arkansas. So if anyone in the panel or in the who's joining us today have questions, you can actually come to us on Facebook to put any questions in there, because my screen is now acting really, really weird and I don't know what's going on. Just being real honest. So I'm going to post this recording, and Miss Amber and Miss Regina, y'all can post your information in the event page so people can find you all who might want or need a doula, and share with all their friends. So thank you all for attending and coming and enjoying this with us.